I just want to touch on this right here very quickly before we get into the Twitter files because there is so much stuff to talk about. Because in the past, 12 hours, there's been two separate drops and they're both very juicy. Thankfully, they're both kind of connected, and Shellenberger and Taibbi did some excellent reporting, so I want to get to that. But obviously, if you're going to be talking about Twitter right now, there is one elephant, little bird, little South African bird in the room that you need to address on this one. Elon Musk putting up a poll, okay, a poll with zero regulations, okay, and I understand, like, right underneath child exploitation, purging the platform of all of the bots that were on there was priority number 2 for Elon that's out there. So it's a little bit more secure than it would have been for the first thing that he does. But why would he put the fate of him being in charge of Twitter in a simple poll? Doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, right? And I'm just thinking, like, from a multitude of different angles, what exactly is he doing on that? And unless he, elaborates further on the decision, what the ultimate results of the poll are going to mean from him, because he said that, yes, 100%, okay, whatever the results of this poll are, I'll just go ahead and, listen to the will of the people. I think it ended up shaking out to being 57.5% to 42.5%, 17.5 million votes. Okay, wonderful, fantastic. Okay, great. So he's gonna this step down as head of Twitter, maybe potentially. Okay, and then he went dark on Twitter, not reporting, not replying, not responding to anything really for quite a long time until I seen this tweet pop up here, and you got Kim.com, one of the diligent reporters on and off the site, saying that hey Elon Musk, it's unwise to run a poll like this when you are now deep state's enemy number 1. And we'll get into the reasons for that here in a second, why he is, okay? They have the biggest bot army on Twitter. They have 100,000 analysts with 30 to 40 accounts all voting against you. Let's clean up and then run this poll again. The majority has faith in you. Yeah, no, I voted on it, and I said, no, I think he's... Well, and again, I want to do a deep dive on this once he clarifies his position, what he's ultimately going to do. And I guess we have a little bit of a policy decision because, yes, that and a couple of days ago, there's a few more policies that have been put into place, which some people are laughing at, some people are spurging out at, some people have run afoul of and fucked around and found out the consequences about it. But overall, in the balance of probabilities, he's doing a pretty good job, okay? He's pissing off the right people, and, like has been pointed out, he is deep state number 1. He has been in the barrel, okay, of what Trump has been facing for the past 5-6 years at this point in time, and he could only handle a month. Holy! Tell me again how you can just, pluck a Trump off of a fucking tree and you just want to discard the motherfucker off to the side because Ron DeSantis is just the same as Trump without all the baggage. Get fucked. But yes, as the rest of this, little thread reply gimmick went on, because I just went to see, it's like, has Elon Musk clarified anything before I wanted to get into this? Well, okay, so yeah, an unfiltered boss. Don't know who this guy is. Obviously bought Twitter Blue, because he brings up a pretty decent point. Blue subscribers should be the only ones who can vote in policy-related polls. We actually have skin in the game. Yes, and for clarification on that, Elon Musk, I think either before or after he put out that poll, he said that no further policy changes would be implemented without, polling the populace out there on Twitter. So yeah, that's a pretty good recommendation that he puts out there. And it's like, yeah, you guys are paying $10 Canadian, $8 American, whatever it fucking works out to in any other currency around the world. Okay, you guys have, like he says there, actual skin in the game. Very good point. It's a way that I'd like to go back to when it comes to voting in general, okay? If you're a net benefit taxpayer, then you should be able to vote. No more, no less. I'd love to throw in a couple more caveats, and I've detailed that out in my positions when it comes to reforming voting, but another topic for another time. This is barely the topic I want to get into because, like I said, there's a lot of shit I want to talk about. But Elon Musk, yes, the only reply that I've seen so far him come out in here and say, good point, Twitter will make that change. So, it looks like there's not going to be any finality to that poll that's going to be out there right now. Yeah, no, it could be very, very interesting. But things that we have concrete evidence of. Twitter files part 6 and 7. So first and foremost, yesterday. Okay, well, this says December 16th. I guess I missed that. Okay, I didn't have an opportunity to talk about it. Okay, so yes, we'll clear all of this up and then the stuff that just dropped very recently, okay, within the past few hours here, just in on or around noon today, I think I seen it. But yes, the FBI is straight in the crosshairs, okay? If you wanted a truncated title for today's video, it would simply be reasons why it should be held accountable and should be disbanded. FBI and Twitter. You are going to see a lot of familiar faces pop up in this one. Internal Twitter records show the FBI questioned Twitter on state propaganda. Huh, interesting. What do you mean by that? Independent journalist Matt Taibbi published a supplemental thread to part 6 of the Twitter files on Sunday, bringing to light documented exchange between the FBI and Twitter's executives discussing the topic of state actors on social media platforms. In July of 2020, an FBI agent with the San Francisco field office told the head of the company's disbanded Global Trust and Safety Council, Yoel Kid Toucher Roth. That's not fair. I don't know if he does want them to be on his Grindr profile, so we'll just go ahead and find some middle ground here. That the company could expect questioning from the Foreign Influence Task Force, okay, an interagency group that deals with cyber threats. According to Taibbi, who have been given access to Twitter's internal communications by the company's new CEO, Elon Musk, we know all that stuff, okay. The FBI sent Twitter a set of follow-up questions after Twitter's June 20th briefing with DHS, Office of Director of National Intelligence, and FBI on election security. Company representatives testified that Twitter had not observed much recent activity from official propaganda actors on the platform. In the follow-up questions, the FBI sought clarification on Twitter's views of the state media online landscape and asked the company to answer some questions about the analysis and conclusion. Taibbi, who just published part 6 of the Twitter files on Friday, which, yes, so we got a clarification, some of the additional stuff that was on there. Might as well just go back to the source material for the actual drop, right? Okay. Twitter's contact with the FBI was constant and pervasive, as if it were a subsidiary. We've kind of known a bit about this in the recent drops, but this just really crystallizes it. Between January 2020 and November 2022, there were 150 emails between the FBI and former Twitter Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Some are mundane, like San Francisco agent Elvis wishing Roth a happy new year, along with a reminder to attend our quarterly call next week. Others are requesting for information into Twitter's users related to active investigation. A lot of this stuff I talked about on Friday as well, so I may not cover all of it, okay? I just want to get some more clarification. Talked about Agent Elvis Chan from the San Francisco field office of the FBI, okay? Went through all of his flagging different accounts and tweets that need suppression that's out there, so just a little bit more on how long this ended up going on. March of 2021 email. So well after the election, the FBI's like, it was really nice to have this type of power through a private agency where we don't really have all the tracking, and because Twitter's always going to be under leftist control, right? It's not like there's any chance that these internal documents are going to get leaked, right? Of course, we could just go ahead and continue to flex. An FBI liaison thanks a senior Twitter executive for the chance to speak to you and the team, then delivers a packet of products. The executive circulates the products, which are really DHS bulletins, stressed the need for greater collaboration between law enforcement and private sector partners. Great. The ubiquity of the 2016 Russian interference story as stated pretext for building out the censorship machine can't be overstated. Yep, so Hillary Clinton decided to plant the whole Russiagate nonsense, and well, there was your foundation for all of this nonsense, okay? Russian disinformation, right? And lefties, whatever, hate the motherland of communism because they're no longer communist. Like, that shit never really made all of that much sense, okay? We hate Russians, boo. but you love communism. Okay, where was the USSR like founded, implemented, and those ideas the most prosperous they've ever been? Yeah, it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, really, when you think about it too much. While the DHS and its products pans permissive social media for offering operational advantage to Russians, it also explains that the domestic violent extremist threat requires addressing information gaps. The FBI, in one case, sent over many possible violative content, reports. Twitter personnel congratulated each of them in Slack for the monumental undertaking of reviewing them. What do we got? What do we got? Anyone need help reviewing the tweets forwarded? An FBI report on positive violative conduct. Another blurted out individual. I can help on SI. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Thank you all so much for your help. A monumental undertaking. Great, fantastic. But everybody's all blurred out, so really doesn't help all that much. But we got names on this one. There were multiple points of entry into Twitter, ladies, for government-flagged reports. This letter from Agent Chan to Yoel Roth references Teleporter, a platform through which Twitter could receive reports from the FBI. Reports also came bouncing from different agencies. Here's an employee recommending bouncing content based on evidence from DHS, etc. State governments also flagged content. Twitter, for instance, received reports via the partner support portal, an outlet created by the Center for Internet Security, a partner organization to the DHS. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Twitter acting. And if you think that it's just Twitter, I'm sorry about that lobotomy that you just had recently. Hopefully the stitches heal and they can't see the scars, but this is happening fucking everywhere. Just Twitter, you're allowed to publish the receipts thanks to a fairly based CEO. I was there, no action taken yet. Below, Twitter executives receiving an alert from California officials by way of our partner support portal, debate whether to act on Trump's tweet. Yes, of course. Here, a video was reported by the Election Integrity Project at Stanford, apparently on the strength of the information from the Center for Internet Security. Very interesting. So now you're involving Stanford into the ongoing nature of Twitter, and all of these reports are being acted on by one side of the aisle, because all of this stuff right here is referencing right-wing concerns, and they're all getting taken down by activists. Very interesting. Very interesting. If that's confusing, it's because the CIS is a DHS contractor and describes itself as partners with the Cyber and Internet Security Agency at the DHS. Very nice. There's their little flashcard and their little promotion. The EIP is one of a series of government-affiliated think tanks that mass review content, a list that also includes the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensic Research Laboratory and the University of Washington's Center for Informed Policy. Takeaway, what most people think is the deep state is really a tangled collaboration of state agencies, private contractors, sometimes state-funded NGOs, non-governmental offices. I think that's what the O stands for. But yes, it's basically government contractors. The lines become so blurred as to be meaningless. Yeah, that should be a little, if you read that correctly, that should be a little white pill for you, okay? Because, oh my god, the deep state, all the shadowy actors that are down there, the uniparty, just give up hope, take the black pill. It's like, bro, you can actually name the people that are right there, okay? It's state agencies, it's the government directly, and it's just, you know, all of their subsidiaries. Those are the people that are pulling the strings. Cool. Now that you can name them, now you can take action against them. I consider that a big win, but that's just me. That's just me. New Twitter Files researchers are moving into a variety of new areas now. Not today, though. Not really so much today. That was just kind of a clarification on the stuff that we heard on Friday. And then also, yes, the little supplemental drop that we went over earlier. But yes, Barry Weiss, who got a, tremendous ass chewing from Elon Musk prior to the weekend or over the weekend. More on that once we figure out what's happening with Elon. And then Michael Shellenberger, who is responsible for the new drop, because our guy right here, 8 hours ago at time of recording, whenever the fuck it comes out, it came out today, okay? And it has everything to do with the FBI directly censoring the Hunter Biden laptop. You can't make this shit up, kids, okay? This wasn't just simply Twitter activists that were out there. The FBI going in and calling the shots as well. How the FBI and intelligence community discredited factual information about Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings both after and before the New York Post revealed the contents of his laptop on October 14th, 2020. In Twitter Files number 6, we saw the FBI relentlessly seek to exercise influence over Twitter, including over its content, users, and its data. That's why I did the little refresher course first and foremost. Twitter File 7, we present evidence pointing to an organized effort by representatives of the intelligence community aimed at senior executives and at news and social media companies to discredit leaked information about Hunter Biden before and after it was published. Now, because some of this stuff could get fairly spicy, I got a nice little review for everybody to make this as succinct as possible. 7th installment of Elon Musk's endorsed Twitter Files show, there is an organized effort by federal law enforcement agents to target social media and news companies before they reported on Hunter Biden's laptop. At one point, screenshots from emails posted by Shellenberger show that FBI was increasingly putting pressure on Twitter in the lead up to the 2020 election, as officials with the Bureau frequently messaged the firm for reports on alleged evidence of foreign influence. Those emails, according to him, repeatedly requested information from Twitter that Twitter has already made clear it will not share outside of normal legal channels. The FBI had asked the firm for evidence of foreign interference, but Twitter stated that they hadn't found anything of note. Oh, so Twitter initially went over this stuff. It's like, I don't see anything wrong with this. And then the FBI came in. It's like, no, it's Russian disinformation. And then Twitter was like, oh, okay. We haven't yet identified activity that we'd typically refer you to, or even flag as interesting in the foreign influence context, one email from a Twitter staffer read. Another email written by former Twitter Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Oh, hi! Imagine that. Him showing up after I make a dick-sucking reference. States, we have seen a sustained, if uncoordinated, effort by the intelligence community to push us to share more info and change our API policies. They are probing and pushing, of course, and a lot of probing and a lot of pushing. Oh, they can, including by whispering to congressional staff. Roth had apparently attempted to resist the FBI in an attempt to get Twitter to share the data that went outside the normal search warrant process. Oh, great. So they just willingly turned everything over. Great. Wonderful. Fantastic. They really take privacy seriously over there. In the previous regime, that is. One post states he departed the company last month after getting told to fuck off. We don't like fucking maps over here. On October 13th, 2020, the day before the New York Post released its report on the younger Biden's laptop, lawyer George Masseries emailed Delaware computer repair shop owner John Paul Mac Isaac. Oh, yeah, my dude right there with the little fucking cap and the kilt. Now, man, he's a Russian actor. I heard about that from the media, that both the younger Biden and Masseries learned that the New York Post had a story on the laptop that would be published the next day. Yeah, somebody let it leak, and everybody was like, no, we gotta get Putin involved. Mac Isaac has said that a man who appeared to be Hunter Biden left the laptop at his shop before the FBI recouped it in December of 2019. 2019, just about took him 10 months in order to get back. Okay. According to interviews he's given. That's funny. How did the FBI get the laptop, but then Rudy Giuliani had it in the flesh and showed it on Steven Crowder's show? Kind of fucking weird. About 2 hours after Masseries emailed Mac Isaac, FBI Special Agent Elvis Chan, thank you very much, sent 10 documents to Twitter's then Chief of Site Security, Roth, through a one-way communication channel from the FBI to Twitter, according to a screenshot Shellenberger posted today. Hours after the New York Post ran his bombshell story the next day, Twitter and Facebook moved to limit the reach of the story. Yep, Facebook and Meta CEO Zuckerberg confirmed that in August, and I seen as well in the thread, there's also the video of, where, there it is, yeah, right there. So they reference the old Zuckerberg letting the fucking mask slip for a moment, and it's like, yeah, the FBI showed up and they told us to pay attention to anything that could be wrong, and we're like, oh, okay, that'd be great, just please don't shut us down. Yo, that shit is so fucked, and that's where everybody was like, yeah, we know this was happening. Thanks for admitting it, and I guess your fucking programming slipped up for a second, because he is a robot. Later, according to an email screenshot, Roth conceded that the Hunter Biden story isn't clearly violative of our hacked materials policy, nor is it clearly in violation of anything else. So why are we censoring this? Like, this should be big fucking news, by the way. Okay, this is Twitter going over a story that is set to be released on their platform. And they're like, we can't find anything wrong with this. The fuck is, it's going to go up. Like, what the fuck? But then he states, this feels, Merch, a lot like a somewhat subtle leak operation. Oh my God. So just like the whole, I want to get rid of Trump. Can we like legitimately kind of like, I feel like he's very dangerous. Can we get rid of him for these tweets? No? Can we make a new policy and then ban him? Okay, we'll do that. It came weeks after Chan and Roth set up a messaging network in September of 2020 so that the FBI and Twitter employees could communicate with one another. They also agreed to set up a virtual war room. It's fine if lefties do war room, but if, the right does it, Steve Bannon's a Nazi, whatever. From the FBI and other U.S. intelligence agencies, a message shows. Neither Roth nor the FBI have responded to the latest claims. No, Roth's still in hiding because of right-wing terror squad showing up at his house. Okay, buddy. Matt Taibbi, who retweeted and endorsed by Musk, released the first batch on Friday. Yeah, and he said that they'd be going in different directions as well. At the same time, it was revealed by Musk and Taibbi that those files were vetted by then Twitter counsel James Baker, a former FBI lawyer. And there's actually something else about Yeah, I thought I'd seen this as well because I just did a little scan over the top of this to make sure I didn't miss anything in particular. But yeah, Jim Baker is pretty good details in here right now because yeah, he was the former general counsel for Twitter, but he has a long and illustrious career as a deputy counsel at the FBI. Yeah, so we'll just go over his stuff and his involvement in this. It's pretty interesting. Who is Jim Baker? He's a former general counsel of the FBI from 2014 to 18 and one of the most powerful men in the U.S. intel community. Huh, interesting. You don't say. How did he find his way over to Twitter? Baker has moved in and out of government for 30 years. Wow, serving stints at CNN, Bridgewater, a $140 billion asset, fucking $140 billion hedge fund, and Brookings Institute. Great. As general counsel for the FBI, Baker played a central role in making the case internally for the investigation of Donald Trump. I'm shocked. Somebody call Macaulay Culkin. I need a stand-in. Yeah, I'm big shook by this. Wow. Baker wasn't the only senior FBI executive involved in Trump's investigation to go to Twitter. Don Burton, a former department chief of staff at FBI's head. Oh, James Comey. Oh, great. Of course, James Comey had to make a cameo appearance. Who initiated the investigation of Trump, joined Twitter in 2019 as director of strategy. Director of strategy. With a purpose, I'd imagine. As of 2020, there were so many former FBI employees, Boo alumni, working at Twitter that they had created their own private Slack channel and a crib sheet to onboard new FBI arrivals. Holy! Hey, Jim, so excited that you are here. I'm no longer the newest Boo alum. Here's the Buddha Twitter translation chart I mentioned, adding Dawn so she can add/correct. Again, welcome, super pumped to work with you again. So yeah, you got, okay, Bureau, so you got AES, TRIP, TSP, NFS, NFC, Bloof, Jesus fucking Christ, working in everything. Climate survey, what was there a climate survey department at Twitter? That's fucking stupid. Intranet homepage. Kind of makes sense. Team topic. Well, do you need an entire department for that? That's fucking weird. Internal Academy, expense tool, personnel tool, 401k, payroll. Should be the same thing. Critical announcements, bruh, a short summary. Great, wonderful, fantastic. But then, yeah, I'd imagine on Twitter, that's probably all the different internal communications and Vanguard. Whenever I see that, it makes me a little bit uneasy. Don't know necessarily what all that shit means, but here we go. Efforts continued to influence Twitter's Yoel Roth. In September of 2020, Roth participated in the Aspen Institute tabletop exercise on a potential hack and dump operation relating to Hunter. In September of 2020, a month before the laptop story broke. Big fucking think on that one, don't you? Consider. The organizer was Vivian Scheller, the former CEO of NPR. Fuck it. You serious, bro? Former head of news at Twitter, former general manager of the New York Times, and the former chief digital officer of NBC News. Fucking, oh my God. Why do you think there's no new stars that are ever created at these places? It's so nepotentious. You can't help but laugh, really. By mid-September 2020, Chen and Roth had set up encrypted messaging networks so employees from FBI and Twitter could communicate. Wow. They also agreed to create a virtual war room for all the internet industry, plus FBI and the Office of Director of National Intelligence. Yeah, we learned about that. Then, on September 15th, 2020, the FBI's Laura Demlow, who heads up Foreign Influence Task Force, and Elvis Chan, requested to give a classified briefing for Jim Baker without any other Twitter staff, such as Yoel Roth, present. Great, we're just going to talk to one of our former colleagues. Don't worry about anything, though. We're going to be totally keeping it on the up and up. And it's not like this was official business or anything like that. On October 14th, shortly after the New York Post published its Hunter Biden laptop story, Roth says it isn't clearly violative of our hacked materials policy, nor is it clearly in violation of anything else, but adds, yes, feels like something a subtle leak operation. It feels like, I just want to read Roth's message. That comes from Roth. Thanks. We're aware of this, and we're tracking it closely at this time, given the alleged provenance of the materials. It isn't yet violative. That said, the questionable origins, obviously causing a lot of people to make references to 2016, when literally the world ended. And my personal view on this, nobody asked, unsubstantiated by hard evidence as yet. This feels like merch. That's why, oh my God, you get any of these people making fucking decisions, they have to take their emotionality out of it. Screen these motherfuckers. And you can see, obviously, based on his dissertation, nobody was doing their fucking homework when they were hiring these weirdos. We'll be developing a recommendation for what, if anything, we can do over the course of the day. Listen, we'll find a policy that this violates. Trust me, don't worry about it. In response to Roth, Baker repeatedly insists that Hunter Biden materials were either faked, hacked, or both. Sure, yeah, we have no evidence to suggest that, but I believe, okay? Listen, I've been in and out of the government for the past 3 decades. I know a hacked material when I see one. And the violation of Twitter policy. Baker does so over email and in Google Doc on October 14th and 15th. Yes, get rid of that shit. Get rid of it right now. And yet, it's inconceivable Baker believed the Hunter Biden emails were either fake or hacked. The New York Post had included a picture of the receipt signed by Hunter Biden, and an FBI subpoena showed that the agency had taken possession of the laptop in December of 2019. Yes, so all that shit is on the up and up. Again, Jim Baker could just go ahead and place a phone call to some of his own old friends down there at the Bureau if they wanted to go check to see if this was legit or not. You guys had an open investigation since that time and haven't done fuck all with it, but when the New York Post was about to go live with it, oh no, time to get rid of that shit. As for the FBI, it would have taken a few hours for it to confirm that the laptop had belonged to Hunter Biden. Indeed, it only took a few days for journalist Peter Schweitzer to prove it. Yeah, a video of him right there if you are so inclined. I'll link to both of the Twitter files links themselves if you'd like to read them in their totality. By 10 a.m., Twitter executives had brought into a wild hack and dump story. Oh yes, the suggestion from experts, which rings true, is that this was a hack that happened separately, and they loaded the hacked material on the laptop. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy. This was that policy that Yoel Roth was just going to go and make fit for this story, Christ almighty, that magically appeared at the repair shop in Delaware. Listen, the FBI took it, put on a whole bunch of hacked material, returned it to the repair shop, and that's how we can ban the story. You guys are so smart. Based off the discussion with Vijaya. Great. We'll move forward with this action once we get sign off from communications. Yep, to ban the entire fucking story. Are you kidding me? And yes, Jim Baker, yeah, mail attachment was the attachment. Okay, 3:38 the same day, October 14th. Baker arranges a phone conversation with Matthew J. Perry, the Office of General Counsel of the FBI. His former place of employment. The influence operation persuaded Twitter executives that the Hunter Biden laptop did not come from a whistleblower. Oh, one link to a Hill article, fuck the Hill, based on a WAPO article, apply as necessary, from October 15th, which falsely suggested the Giuliani leak of the laptop had something to do with Russia, even though the FBI had the previous laptop in its possession, would have known exactly what's on there or what was placed on there. Bro, this story's way bigger than just simply Twitter. This outs the FBI as being corrupt and needing to be shuttered. There is evidence that the FBI agents had warned elected officials of foreign influence with the primary goal of leaking the information to the news media. This is a dirty trick used to create the perception of impropriety. In 2020, the FBI gave a briefing to Senator Grassley and Johnson, claiming evidence of Russian interference into their investigation of Hunter Biden. Now, the briefing angered the senators, who say it was done to discredit their investigation. I remember talking about that at the time back in late 2020. Because, at that time, then John Ratcliffe, the sitting DNI, Director of National Intelligence, sent over a memo that said, yeah, actually it was Hillary Clinton that, placed all of that Russia stuff into everybody's ear, and there's no substantiated evidence to back up any of those claims. That was the first video that ever went over 100 views on my channel. So happy with that video. Kind of happy with the thumbnail too. It was kind of cluttered in retrospect. But anyways, the unnecessary FBI briefing provided the Democrats and liberal media the vehicle to spread their false narrative that our work advanced Russian disinformation. Wow. Notably, then General Counsel Jim Baker was investigated twice in in 2017 and 2019 for leaking information to the news media. Wow. You're saying he's under criminal investigation. That's why you're not letting him answer, Meadows asked. Yes. In the end, the FBI's influence campaign aimed at executives at news media, Twitter, and other social media companies worked. They censored and discredited the Hunter Biden laptop story. By December of 2020, Baker and his colleagues even sent a note of thanks to the FBI for its work. Are you fucking joking? Here's a list of those we worked with. Holy fuck, are you stupid? I could put my camera on here, but again, I'll just go ahead and link out to everything. I'll just read the people. Obviously, Elvis Chan, Laura Demlow, and then everybody else is blanked out. A bunch of people that work with the Russia unit for the FTF, or the FITF, sorry, Global Unit, Russia Unit, Criminal Investigation Division. The FBI's influence campaign may have only been helped by the fact that it was paying Twitter millions of dollars for its staff time. What? Holy! I'm happy to report that we collected $3.4 million, $15,323. Wow. Since October of 2019, reports an associate of Jim Baker in early 2021. The pressure from the FBI and social media platforms continues. In August of 2022, Twitter executives prepared for a meeting with the FBI whose goal was to convince us to produce or more FBI EDRs, emergency disclosure requests, a warrantless search. Great, wonderful, fantastic. So basically commit a no-knock or execute a no-knock warrant on Twitter servers. Great. So you can go ahead and help us, or we'll just force our way in so that we can plant a story that makes, the side that we want to win actually, look good. In response to the Twitter files revelations of the high-level FBI agents at Twitter, Jim Jordan said he was pictured in this one right here. Yeah, there's Jimmy right there. He's just looking at him. It's like, this sus motherfucker right here. What was Jim on about? I have concerns about whether the government was running a misinformation operation on we the people. Yeah, no, definitely. Anyone who reads the Twitter files, regardless of political orientation, should share those concerns. Exactly, because if you think that it's just going to happen to one side exclusively, you're out of your fucking mind. This is the FBI, after all. This is your quote-unquote deep state in action. We at least know the actors that are involved on this one. It might seem overwhelming at this point, but at least we know the goods on this stuff. When they have their mind set to something, and they have everybody working in concert, they can make a totally legitimate, totally corrupt story disappear just like that. So, if the Twitter files are going to be going in different directions, we already know that Elon Musk and his journalists have Dr. the Fauci right there in his sights. I'd imagine we'll be seeing something like that in the near future, and where they go after that, Lord only knows. And is Elon Musk going to be in charge of that stuff going forward? fuck it. Who really knows? But I'll be here to talk about it when it eventually does drop. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.